hurt, no rest for the real. Still spine straight, I'm a soldier, no chill. Snakes in the grass, they creep and conceal. 20/30 vision, better sharpen your steel. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Prepare for the lies, let the darkness live. Echoes in the swamp, whispers in the wind. Legacy to build, can't let the devil win. Cash rules the weak, but my soul don't bend. 20/30 knocking, better cleanse that sin. They want us to sleep, but the light stays on. Fake smiles, fake friends, all of them gone. Cages of comfort, we breaking out strong. Roots in the south, but the fight's lifelong. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Prepare for the storm, skies turning gray. The wolves in the suit got dues to pay. From the ashes we climb, no time to delay. The real ones prepare for the judgment day. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I hope all is well. Grace and peace to each and every one of you guys, man. I hope all is well on this fine Wednesday. It is hump day. It is also the first day of October. Can you guys believe it, man? Can you guys believe we are 9 months into the year already? We're in quarter 4 right now. We're in quarter 4. Right now, today is the first day of the new fiscal year. As you guys know, we are experiencing a government shutdown. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with the fiscal year, the government calendar runs from October 1 to September 30. It's not on the same schedule, or calendar schedule as a lot of us are, from January or from January to December. They actually run from October 1 to September 30. So yeah, we got a pretty good show today. I will not hold on to you entirely too long today, but a couple topics I want to discuss today. One of them being what's going on with these shutdowns. I think it's pretty daggone ridiculous that the Democrat Party is holding us hostage right now, holding our nation hostage over people that shouldn't even be here. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that I show some love to my folks in the chat. I appreciate you guys pulling up. Shout out to Lori Otteson, as always, pulling up. Normally one of the first people in the chat, normally. So shout out to you, Lori. She says, it's the first hump day of October. Be sure to hit that like button on the way in, please. Yes, y'all make sure y'all follow Lori's instructions. Shout out to Soul Driver. What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Marcy Richards? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. And I would agree with you. God is very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hunter comes through with the Bible verse, as always. Says, he tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in the arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Hunter. As always, coming through. Shout out to Hadassah. How you doing this morning, sister? Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Vicky? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Chisaxi? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well. What's up, JJ O'Hara? How you doing? Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Marla? Angela Montgomery? How's it going this morning? LJ Taylor in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Ed? How you doing this morning, brother? Hope all is well out there in Mississippi. We got Zephyr K9 in the building. Shout out to you. What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you. What up, Ryan Stegall out of GA? What's going on with you? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well. Yeah, it was a little crisp out here. I went on a walk this morning, and yeah, it's a little cool outside. Little cool outside. You know, fall is, I guess, officially here or right around the corner. I would assume that up here we're going to have probably another couple of weeks of, you know, some steaming weather before it gets just officially cold. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was pleasantly surprised when I walked outside this morning and was like, oh, I need to throw on a light jacket this morning. It was good. It was good. Now, goodness gracious, somebody said the 40s. Nah, it wasn't that cold. Not that cold. What's up, Jane? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. We got Omega X in the building. Grace and peace to you as well. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Deborah Carver? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Sugar Shane in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Carol Reyes? How's it going this morning? Grace and peace to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Who else we got up in here? Kevin Caldwell in the house. Shout out to you. What up, Donald Lovejoy? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Billy W in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up this morning as well. BWR, appreciate you pulling up. Mississippi in the building. What up, C. Bergie? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Who else we got up in here? What's up, B? How you doing this morning, sisters? Good to see you up in here. Good to see you. Are you still traveling or you made it back to the crib? What's up, Rhonda Evans? Xander, appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you guys. We got Katrina, is it LeJohn or LeWine? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. If not, let me know. What's up, Nelly? What's up, Malachi? Out in Lockport, Illinois. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, AK Bauer? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got D. Surrey in the building, New Hampshire. Okay, I see you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Kenny Cooper? Listening and cruising across Nebraska. Be safe out there, brother. Y'all make sure y'all keep all our truckers lifted up in prayer out there on that road, man. Shout out to you. What's up, Brett Montgomery? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Deb Longo, how's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Hope all is well. We got Leslie Aaron in the building. Says, good morning, fam. Happy October. Happy October to you as well. This is my sister's birthday month. I made a mistake, said she's going to be 45. She corrected me very fast, very fast. She's like, I'm going to be 44. I'm like, what's the difference? What's the difference? What's up, Tinkerbell? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. We got Robert Dalton in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, RJ Hudson? Youngin. I think RJ Hudson said he was born in 93. Was it 93, RJ, or 91? Which one was it? Either one. If you were born in the 90s, youngin. Still got a lot of love for you, though, bro. What's up, Be Inspired? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. What up, LS? How's it going this morning, brother? GA in the building. Appreciate you guys, man. We got Jose Ramirez in the building. Shout out to you. What up, Annie Love? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. I hope not, but y'all got to check that because it does happen. I've had a couple people reach out to me and say, hey, I was unsubscribed in some shape, way, form, or fashion. I'm not really sure how that happens, but it does happen. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Katrina, I am with you. I am a big fan of hoodie weather. I used to like the summer, but the summer is just too daggone hot for me, man. So I think my dog is rubbing off on me. My dog, Shakir Aloysius, he cannot stand the summer months. He's like, man, I go outside, I do my business, I go back in the house. It's too hot to be out here with y'all. And I think I'm there with him now. I used to really love the summer, but now I'm like spring, fall. That's my favorite time of the year. Spring, fall, that's my favorite time of the year. You know, and this morning I went outside. I believe we were probably in the 50s. I didn't check the weather, but it's definitely hoodie weather for sure. I didn't have a hoodie on this morning. I put on a little jacket, a little light little jacket, a little fleece. But it's good to be able to break them out. It's good. Breaking out the hoodies, breaking out the fleeces. Yeah, it's that time. It is that time. What up, Hardy Harmonica? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right, B. B finally made it home. You've been traveling for a little minute. You've been out and about for a while. So, shout out to you. And B, God bless you. You are such a nice person. Hopefully you will come through for me the way I've seen you come through for some others. Goodness gracious. B is extremely nice. Y'all make sure y'all show love to B. This is a nice human being. She has a really, really good heart, man. Shout out to you, B. You will be blessed. I'm sure you're already blessed. What's up, Anime Lifestyle? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's going on? What is going on? Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says I-95 through Wisconsin to Minnesota has beautiful colors now. I believe it. That's the other thing too about the fall. You get the changing, the weather's cooling, but you get the changing of the leaves and the trees and stuff, man. It is awesome, man. The oranges, the reds, the burgundies. That's awesome, man. It really is. In Q4, man, fall. It's the quarter of family fellowship, right? We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got, the Christmas holidays and whatever it is that and however you celebrate those holidays, whether it's, Hanukkah, some folks celebrate Kwanzaa, some people celebrate Christmas, some people don't celebrate it at all, but it is an opportunity for family members just to get together and hang out and fellowship for a positive reason, right? Whatever that may be, this is the time of the year, man. Q4 is family fellowship quarter. I look forward to it. I don't really care so much, about the holidays in the sense of getting gifts. And my family, we don't really celebrate it in that manner. It's really about us, just getting together, one, giving thanks and being thankful, and just getting an opportunity to just, hang out with each other, man, and just love on each other, which is huge. All right. What's up, Lynn J. Son, Butler, PA in the building. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's going on, Renee Suzanne? She said it's her birthday month. Look at you. This is my sister's birthday month as well. All the October babies. Okay, I see y'all. What's up, C. Bergie? What up, AI? Appreciate you pulling up. Donna King in the building. What's up, Kirsten D? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Yeah, RJ, I thought that was 93. I'm there. I got a fairly decent memory. Carol Reyes said a one year birthday pushes you into the new decade. Okay. I'll give some grace there then, I guess. Oh, Angela Mummy, you're October baby as well? Goodness gracious. We've got a lot of October folks up in here. Brett Montgomery out here showing his age, 93. That's the year he graduated. What's up, Pastor Steven? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Hunter said, I've been told I sound a lot older than my age despite being born in 1999. Hey, Hunter, I would agree with that. You do come across a lot more mature than someone born in 1999. I believe that would make you, 2 years older than my oldest son. So I'm guessing you're about 26, if not 26, going on 26. He's 24, and he's kind of got an old soul as well. And I see that in you, just in our conversation. Yeah, you have an old soul. You've been here before. All right. We're going to get the show started. If you haven't done so already, man, hit that like button for me. If you have not done so already. Ed, I would say yes, that the hoodies are in the mail, but the hoodies, hey, it is slow. For whatever reason, Teespring, and I may have to look into updating that in the very near future because they are slow. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. I'm with you, Angela. It's rare that I'll put on a big coat in the winter. I'm more in, hoodies and long sleeve shirts, and that pretty much is sufficient at this point. Shout out to Beautifully Flawed, aka Lisa, joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you supporting me and supporting this channel, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. All righty. What's up, Kenneth Williams? How's it going? Yeah, Teespring is slow. My apologies, guys, but it is slow. I mean, I know they got to print everything up and then they got to get it mailed out. It's not a Swift service. It just isn't. It's ridiculous. They got to work on that. But I'm going to reach out to them myself to kind of figure out what the heck is going on and why they're moving so slow. But we'll get that figured out. But appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. We're going to go ahead and get the show started. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button for me. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. And shout out to all my ARP family members. Thank you guys so much for, one, joining the ARP family, but also, really supporting what we're doing over here. You guys know that we are fighting an uphill battle, when you're in this space. And I appreciate you guys supporting me in that way. All right. I appreciate you guys. What up, Nay May? What's going on with you? Appreciate you pulling up. Grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. And before we get things kicked off, I want to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by our sponsor, Chapter. If you or someone that you love is on Medicare, this is an urgent message. The Department of Justice just filed a massive fraud complaint against 3 of the biggest Medicare brokers in America. They weren't helping seniors. They were steering them into bad plans just to pocket the kickbacks. And that's why today, this morning, and pretty much the last couple of weeks, we've been recommending Chapter. The organization itself, it's family founded, and they lived through the scam of having a loved one take a plan that, one, didn't serve their need, but also gave the kickback to the individuals that put them in said plan. So what Chapter does is they search every plan nationwide to find the right one that is truly a fit for you. They receive no kickbacks. There's no pressure. It's just honest help. And, it is completely free. It's completely free. They've already saved the average senior over $1,000 a year. So if you or a loved one is either on a Medicare plan, obviously open enrollment is coming up pretty soon. If you are looking for, or you want to help a loved one to make sure that they are in the right plan, reach out to Chapter today, 504-506-0860. Don't risk your health or your money. Make sure you reach out to them today, 504-506-0860. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys very much. Give me 1 second here. Remove that. We're going to get things kicked off. Hit the like button for me if you have not done so already. And I appreciate all of you guys, for pulling up this morning and supporting this channel. I thank you guys very much, man. Let's get going.
Your executive director said you wanted to defund the police. Do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
Get a second senator to bring up an op-ed or
this isn't an op-ed. This is your report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at results.
My question is, do you renounce this report now? You say you no longer agree with this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion. I
was playing the wrong video.
As the golden rule test, Jesus said, do unto others that's what you would have done unto yourself. It's the ultimate simplifying test of truth. The new War Department golden rule is this: do unto your unit as you would have done unto your own child's unit. Would you want him serving with fat or unfit or undertrained troops, or alongside people who can't meet basic standards?
All right, sorry about that. Open it up with the wrong video. Goodness gracious. But that was a hot mess, you know. Senator Hawley going in. But let's talk about Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. On Tuesday, he caused a little bit of an uproar, and I guess that is being nice. What's up, Eric Plumbers? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel via Cash App as well, man. Thank you very much. So Pete Hegseth, the other day, I think it was on Tuesday, he caused an uproar like no other, just to say the least. You know, to say the least, it was an uproar like no other. So he announced that all combat personnel would be required to meet the highest male standard in order to maintain their position. I don't know if you guys heard me. I don't know if you guys heard me. Shout out to D. Surrey joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. Now, I don't know if you guys heard me. I know we got a lot of veterans. I'm rocking my Veteran Strong shirt today. Shout out to my guy Kenny, you know, over there from pistyle.store. Y'all make sure y'all go check out his store, man. He's got some pretty dope merch over there. But the reason why I'm rocking the shirt today is because Pete Hegseth went in and let it be known that we're not doing the double standard situation. That's not it, right? He announced that all combat personnel would be required to meet the highest male standard in order to maintain their positions. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it sounds pretty fair to me. Seriously, combat roles sounds pretty fair to me. Seriously. Sounds pretty fair, especially for those of us that have served. LJ, I know you know. Those of us that have served, there should not be a double standard, especially in combat MOSs. But, of course, the ladies on The View, they had to chime in. And we're going to get to that in a second. But first, let's talk about the Defense Secretary's message. The U.S. military exists to win wars, not to manage feelings. The goal of the United States military is to protect the nation when called upon and to win. We don't go out there to lose. If we get called, we go out there to win. We train to win. Simple as that. We're not out there to manage folks' feelings. We're not out there for that. When I was in, it really wasn't like that. If you were a dirtbag, you got called a dirtbag. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sugarcoat anything. If you were fat, overweight, hey, you going to fat camp and you're going to be in PT, supervised PT, until you get that weight off. Simple as that. And he said he doesn't want his son serving next to out-of-shape troops or in combat armed units where women or men can't meet the exact same genuinely high physical standards, or under leaders picked because they're first, not because they're the best. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, his line that standards must be uniform, gender neutral, and high, it wasn't rhetoric. It wasn't rhetoric. It was the spine of a policy. It was the spine of a policy reset. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. I don't want to serve next to someone that cannot pull their own weight. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You're talking about lives on the line, right? Your fellow sailors, your fellow soldiers, your fellow Marines, your fellow airmen, lives are on the line when you can't do your job. If a standard is low or flexible, it isn't a standard at all. It's what one would consider a suggestion, and suggestions get people killed. Simple as that. Then came the substance. At his direction, the department rolled out the first of 10 War Department directives. I want you guys to listen to this.
To the Defense Department right now. Watch and listen, and then we'll discuss.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger.
Is he wrong? In the chat, answer the question for me, especially my veterans. Is he wrong? Should we have generals? Should we have E7s and above? Should we have officers who are supposed to set the example walking around with guts, looking crazy? It is a bad look. It's a bad look. He's not wrong. But I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Is he wrong? Let me rewind that.
The country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne, look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Fat generals and admirals. These are people that a lot of your enlisted and a lot of your young officers, they look up to these people. These are the people that you're striving to become. You got generals and admirals out here teeter-tottering around the Pentagon. That's not a good look, man. It looks bad.
And leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
So what do you think? Is that a sound priority for the Secretary of Defense to explain right now?
That's a definite sound priority. It's definitely a sound priority. Have any of you guys seen the United States, a lot of your United States military members? Have any of you guys seen these people? I've never seen so many overweight, out of shape people in the military in my life. There was a time that when you saw a military member, you knew they were a military member. There was a time when you saw a Marine, you knew that was a Marine. From the high and tight haircut to the posture to how fit and sleek and slim and lean these people look, because they believed in taking care of their bodies, because they understood that they themselves, are a lean, mean fighting machine. They understood it. I have never seen our military look as bad as it has looked over the past 4 or 5 years, man. It is crazy. Seriously, crazy.
Well, I think for the audience in that room, they understand that. They understood the importance of leading by, personal example, personal presence throughout the rank structure in the military, even prior to this venue today. So, I think that the Secretary of War wanted to emphasize that, and I'm sure that there's, millions of troops and service members listening to those remarks. But again, I don't think that standard that he laid out, the merit-based promotion system that he laid out, is contrary, frankly, to my experience in the military or what the expectations were of me as a military leader throughout my military career.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. That's how we were judged. When I was in, that's how we were judged. And they would be on your tail. Fellow PT tests. Hey, be out of regs for your height and weight standards and see what happens. Come on now.
I think that's important context because the way that it was portrayed is that there have been decades of decay, essentially. And so I think it is important for our audience to understand what was happening, what is happening now, and also what's going on when it comes to training recruits. Because you heard Secretary Cohen, Hegseth, say he wants to reform how training is done. Let's listen and then talk.
Basic training is being restored to what it should be. Scary, tough, and disciplined. We're empowering drill sergeants to instill healthy fear in new recruits, ensuring that future warfighters are forged. Yes, they can shark attack, they can toss bunks, they can swear, and yes, they can put their hands on recruits.
What do you make of those comments from the Defense Secretary?
I'm not sure what he is suggesting there. Do I want to see our troops be fit and conform to the best standard possible, both in grooming and also in physical capability? Absolutely. But the question is, do you want your soldiers to operate under fear or through admiration? I'd like to think that leadership is a combination. Yes, you want to fear that you may be punished for something you don't measure up to.
Okay. I don't want to hear this weak dude talk. When I went to boot camp way back when, 1999, Hunter, you make me feel old. When I went to boot camp way back when in 1999, the year you were born, Hunter, I can't say that I was afraid. A little nervous because, fear of the unknown, I guess. But they got to understand that the boot camp process it's meant to break you down. It's meant to, whatever bad habit you came in with, it's meant to remove said bad habits, right? And then through that process, they're going to build you back up. And when you walk out of that place, after you do your pass and review, you are going to feel like you accomplished something. And you have. And you have accomplished something that probably 92 to 93% of the population will never and don't have the ability to get through. This is the United States military. We are not building or creating soft, Twinkie-filled people. Seriously. That's not what this is for. The job of a drill instructor or an RDC is not to be your friend. They're not there to cater to your feelings. And unfortunately, especially in this day and age where you have people that really aren't being parented, in a strict and stern way, they probably have more bad habits to break. How many people, in my household growing up as a youngin', my parents taught, you shut up and you listen. You don't ask why, you don't question, you shut up, you listen. Simple as that. And you don't speak until a question is asked of you. Simple as that. So for me, going to boot camp really wasn't that difficult. Shut up, listen, follow the instructions. If you can shut your mouth, if you can listen and follow instructions, for the most part, you're going to be fine. Until you get closer and closer towards the end and they realize like, hey, we hadn't had to beat them. And then they get you, not because you've done anything wrong. They'll just find something to make sure that they get you before you walk up out of there. Shout out to Billy W. gifting 5 ARP family memberships. Thank you very much, Billy. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel this morning. God bless you. Shout out to, is it Dione? To Reyes with the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, brother, as well. Thank you very much for supporting the channel this morning. But we have so many of these young people that aren't being raised in a way that really would lend them to be conducive to a military lifestyle. So those people that end up saying, hey, I am going to join the United States military for whatever the reason may be. Maybe it's to go to college. Maybe some folks were like me and they're like, hey, college wasn't for me at the time. I need some discipline, right? I was a youngin'. I was out there wilding, and you couldn't tell me anything. I thought I knew everything. And I realized, like, hey, if I keep going the route that I'm going, I am going to prison. I am going to jail. And a lot of my friends around me, they found themselves, out of that. And I remember telling some of my friends who aren't my friends anymore, and honestly, they probably really wasn't my friends back then, that I'm joining the military, and they kind of laughed and clowned. And I remember coming home 6 months, a year after the fact, and you find out, hey, such and such went to jail, such and such got locked up, such and such did. I knew I made the right decision to get away from these people. I knew that. But what Secretary Hegseth is saying, in my opinion, is just absolute common sense. Every combat MOS and every combat arms billet, it goes back to one bar. The highest male standard. That's it. One scoring system applied across the board. Translation, life and death jobs demand life and death readiness. And the metric is performance, period. The rollout is clear. A new neutral system phases in, scrapping the old split thresholds. Pass the combat standard, stay in combat arms. Pass only the general standard, get reclassified. That's how serious organizations operate. And Hegseth, he didn't sugarcoat the leadership culture either. The politically correct, risk-averse, feelings-first command climate, it ends today. It's over with. Either meet the standard, perform, and maintain discipline, or get the heck out. Simple as that. And that's exactly what NCOs have been begging for years. If you served, you know the anger isn't cruelty. It's love of the mission and your buddy next to you. Competence keeps people alive. Competence keeps people alive. Pretending gets people killed. Let's just keep it a buck. But predictably, the media, they buried the substance in the snark. CNN called it a culture war fodder, mocked him for promoting his own book, and turned it into identity politics. Fat shaming the military, they said. I mean, it's unreal. But hey, if you are overweight in the military, you need to be shamed, and you need to get your life right. Seriously, you need to be shamed. I don't have any sympathy for these people.
Befuddled by why he did that. The optics were terrible, meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard.
Sorry about that, guys.
On the perception of the...
Really?
The Defense Department right now. Watch and listen, and then we'll discuss.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
So what do you think? Is that a sound priority for the Secretary of Defense to explain right now?
Well, I think for the audience in that room, they understand that. They understood the importance of leading by, personal example, personal presence throughout the rank structure in the military, even prior to this venue today. So, I think that the Secretary of War wanted to emphasize that, and I'm sure that there's, millions of troops and service members listening to those remarks. But again, I don't think that standard that he laid out, the merit-based promotion system that he laid out is contrary, frankly, to my experience in the military or what the expectations were of.
Alrighty, so God forbid our military be ready for combat instead of body positivity, right? God forbid, right? The focus on this whole body positivity foolishness, you know, especially in the military. No, that's not something that not something that we should tolerate, to be honest with you. It just isn't. It just isn't. Combat arms require peak physical capacity under fire, point blank, period. Hexef even made it crystal clear that this isn't about excluding women. It's about holding one bar high and letting the best meet the bar. If women make it, excellent. If none do in a specific combat billet, so be it. If weak men wash out, and they will, so be it. The standard is the standard. I got to say that again. The standard is the standard. We know that there are some weak dudes out there that's not going to make it. We understand it. And the thing is about men, we understand if we're not good enough. We understand it, and I think women understand it as well, but they've been coddled. And there's been so many women out there that have been told, hey, you're just as strong, just as fast. You guys are 100% equal when it comes to physicality as men, and that's not true. It wasn't like that when I was in the military. There were men's standards, there were women's standards. They didn't have to do as many push-ups, didn't have to run as fast, in a mile and a half as we had to. That wasn't the thing. But when you start talking about the combat MOSs, the standard should be the standard. But of course, you got Democrats all up in arms, confused. How dare we require tight physical standards to serve in the United States Armed Forces? You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make it up. Now, these are also the same people that told us that men and women are equal, right? These are the same people that told us that men and women are exactly the same until they're told, hey, you got to go meet those same standards. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait, hold up. It's not like that. Let me get back to Sonny Hostin real quick.
I'm actually really befuddled by why he did that. The optics were terrible, meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to.
This is a person that has never touched the military in their life. And the reason why they got everybody in the same room, when you can physically touch, see, smell, and you can get in there and you can look a man in the eyes and say, hey, man, we are not tolerating the lackadaisicalness anymore in our United States military. And you call all the top brass and you get them in the same room. There's a reason behind it. This lady doesn't know what she's talking about. She makes absolutely no sense. Zero.
Return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
It wasn't supposed to be uplifting. It wasn't supposed to be uplifting. No, it wasn't. No, it was to shame you. It was to tell you like, nah, there is a standard and you guys are going to meet the standard. It wasn't supposed to be uplifting.
To Colonel Sanders.
It was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African-American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti. I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together, and then denigrating them.
But did you look at it? They're looking at him like he has two heads.
Well,
these are people that have never served in the military before. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. None whatsoever. Seriously. Sunny Hostin, she may be befuddled, as the word that she used, befuddled by Hegseth push to toughen standards, but most Americans get it. Those of us that have worn the uniform, we get it. We get it. Don't we want the best and brightest in uniform? Don't we? Optics matter too. Soldiers notice when senior officers are out of shape. Senior officers and senior enlisted, not only are they supposed to set the example, and set the standard for everyone else, they're also there to serve. How can you serve your troops? How can you serve your sailors when you out of shape? How can you tell somebody that their uniform is out of regs and their shoes aren't shined properly when yours aren't? How can you tell someone, hey, you got to pass this PFT when you can't? Like, what are we talking about? If you think the soldiers and the sailors and the airmen, and the Marines, if you think they don't notice when senior officers are out of shape, if you think they don't talk, you are crazy. The public notices when cops or firefighters are out of shape. Let's talk about the cops and firefighters real quick. I think the cops and firefighters, there needs to be a standard for them as well. There are entirely too many obese police officers out there that can't do a daggone thing, and they're quick to pull out their weapon. Seriously. The police right now, they look pretty bad as well. Now, I get it. I understand they're struggling when it comes to recruiting. But I am tired of seeing these super big beer belly cops out there. There needs to be a standard out there for the police as well. It is outrageous. Firefighters as well. There needs to be a standard. Now, maybe that standard isn't as high as the one that we would have for our United States military. Maybe it isn't that, but there needs to be a standard. We got too many Paul Blarts out there. Too many Paul Blarts out there. Too many. What's the dad from Family Matters? What's his name? What was his name on the show? I can't remember it right now. But entirely too many of those dudes that look like that on the force. I mean, when people see it, it erodes confidence. You don't see a person that can help you. You see a person that looks like they might need help. Carl Winslow, there you go. We got too many Paul Blarts and Carl Winslows out there. And the thing is that when the people see it, they're like, man, please, he gonna need more help than me. It look like I might be needing to give him mouth to mouth. It really does erode confidence. My son, who is currently serving right now, and I understand why this happened, during the pandemic, they didn't have PFTs for like 2 years. The pandemic, and then after that, they didn't have a PRT, or a PFT for like 2 years, maybe 3. They just implemented it. And when they implemented it, they only implemented it once a year. When I was in, we used to have it twice a year. And you did everything that you could to make sure that you passed that daggone thing, because you did not want to have to go to the mandatory PT. You didn't want to. Mike, see, Carl Winslow was a good dad on the show, and I wasn't talking about him as his role on the show. I'm just talking about the fact that he's a police officer. Looked like he couldn't run a quarter of a mile. Ridiculous. Quincy James, yes, it was twice for us as well. They have not implemented yet. Well, hopefully, I guess with HECSF, I guess they are going to go back to twice a year. But that wasn't the case for a while. They didn't have it at all. And yeah, they didn't have it. They didn't have it for all. They didn't have it at all for like 2 years, maybe 3. And when they did implement it, they only implemented where they're doing it once a year. It's crazy. Crazy. It does erode confidence, man. And it signals that rules are for everyone but the leaders. You know, when you have your generals and your admirals out there looking crazy in their uniform. HECSF point, very simple, in my opinion. Officers should lead from the front. Your enlisted senior leaders should lead from the front with sweat, with grit, and competence. Ask any infantry squad what they'd rather have in a firefight. A pamphlet on inclusive language or a teammate who can carry them and 80 pounds of gear uphill under fire. Exactly. I know what the preference is. The media's gotcha routine, trotting out retired generals to nitpick tone or book titles. I mean, that's just a distraction. That's just a distraction. The real issue is whether one tough, gender-neutral standard makes the force stronger. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you have had a chance to see some of the militaries out around the world, especially what they got going on over in China, man, we don't want no parts of those folks right now. We are not prepared right now. We're not. Seriously, we're not prepared. Anyone who's humped a ruck, dragged a buddy, or cleared a room, they know the answer. They know the answer is an emphatic yes. Now, I gotta say this out here. I was an air traffic controller in the United States Navy. I was not a ruck carrying, marching type individual. I like to say I had it pretty daggone good while I was in the military. I had it pretty daggone good, but I was always in regs. I wasn't some slouch, with my gut out. We stayed in the gym, lifting. Plus, I wanted to look good for the ladies back at that time frame. And if you've ever been on a ship, every ship has at least one gym. Most have 2 or 3. Shout out to Arthur Hannis with the $5 super chat. Says, on my 4 deployments, there were always girls who could not carry their own gear. That's a daggone shame. That's a daggone shame. Kirsten, where were you? You're Navy or Navy, Army? Let me know. Mike C said, I still want to look good, even if it's for one lady. I'm there with you, Mike. I'm there with you, Mike. I am there with you there, brother. I am right there. All right, all right, shipmate. I see you, Kirsten. Now, we got to talk about it, man, because in classic Trump fashion, he added some theater to the moment, right? Joking that he'd meet with officers and fire anyone he didn't like on the spot. Trump something else sometimes, man, I tell you. Something else. I want you guys to see this. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this.
This time. So I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire him right on the spot.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. It says, Wise, tell him to get out and do the belly bop. I'm not real sure what the belly bop is, but yeah, do something. Do something. Do something. But I appreciate the sentiment, man. I really do. you know. Now, when Trump got out there and said this, you know, the media, they definitely clutched the pearls as usual, but beneath the showmanship was a serious point. Performance has to matter again. Not checking boxes, not acronyms, results, win, period. Seriously. The last administration treated ideology like a state religion, diversity slogans as doctrine, social engineering experience in the ranks, mandates that purge service members, and the fiction that men and women are interchangeable in combat. Schools, media, and corporate HR had already been captured. The Pentagon was next. Capture the institution, preach the creed, punish dissent, and swap performance metrics for representation games. Recruitment ads turned into lifestyle commercials, you know. Command climate surveys became thought policing tools, and morale collapsed in the military. I know this because I know a multitude of young people that are in the military right now, to include my little cousin, to include, you know, my son, to include some players that I coach. I know you guys know I coach football for, you know, 13, 14 years or so, maybe a little longer than that. And a lot of my first wave, not a lot, but a good amount of my first wave of kids that I had, they're adults now. They're my son's age. And there's a handful of them that I know for sure that are in the military right now. I've had conversations with them. Some of my son's friends that he played football with in high school, they joined the military. And they said the same thing. You know, so as the very cohorts that, you know, fights wars, you know, saw their mission diluted by lectures that had nothing to do with destroying the enemy, morale dropped, and people decided that, hey, this ain't it. I'm out of here. They got out. And they've had recruiting problems for the better part of 3 or 4 years. This year, the Marine Corps, they hit their recruiting numbers. This year. Hexef's remedy to all of this was to bulldoze that temple and rebuild the warrior ethos from the studs up. Personnel is policy. And you can have the best weapons and doctrine, but if the leaders aren't competent, aggressive, innovative, apolitical, and faithful to the Constitution, none of it matters. Combat is brutish and wasteful. The enemy always gets a vote. Our only control is training, equipment, and leadership. So the best leaders must be in charge before contact is made. No more box checking promotions. No more quotas. No more confusing staff work with leading rifle companies. No more punishing decisiveness as toxic. End the war on warrior and return the department to its purpose, which is war fighting, preparing for war, and winning. This isn't just rhetoric. It's an operations order. Higher standards for combat roles, real combat test in full kit, gender neutral bars pegged to the male combat standard, twice annual PT and body comp checks, daily PT for warriors, promotion based on leadership and lethality, not optics, a full cultural reset from woke slogans to warrior standards. Prepare for war to keep the peace, because peace belongs to the strong. That's the pivot that we've been waiting for. That's the mission. And if the brass takes it personally, good, leave. The troops, the taxpayers, and adversaries are watching. We're watching. Hit that like button for me. Shout out to Hexef, man. Seriously. And to all the young people that are deciding that under this administration, it's worth joining the military. Shout out to them as well. Let's make sure that we keep them lifted up in prayer. Hit the like button for me. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for supporting the channel. Let's move on. All righty, so let's pivot to the political circus around Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all know your favorite representative, Timu Barack Obama. The president posted an AI-laced clip on Truth Social poking at Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. And if you haven't seen it by now, I want you guys to check this out real fast. It's hilarious, man. Give me a second.
Sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
I'm sorry about the language, but I couldn't cut it out. B, you are absolutely right. The troller in chief. Goodness gracious, man. You are absolutely right. The troller in chief. That was hilarious, man. But of course, I'm sure you guys know what came from that, right? Can somebody cue the outrage for me? Enter Hakeem Jeffries, or should we just call him Timu Barack Obama? Should we just call him that from now on? Who demanded the president say it to my face and called the video racist and fake. Take a look at this, man.
They'll see it in other ways. It's easy to find, but it is absolutely disgusting in every way. It is a lie. It's the man you met with has now lied about what you said after that meeting. Could you give us your reaction to that Trump posted video tonight?
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault on all the things: Medicaid, Medicare, the Affordable Care Act. Republicans
To sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Say what you want about Trump, man. Say what you want about him, but this president has mastered triggering the left. He's mastered it. The irony, though, is that Democrats call his antics beneath them and then rush the microphones to amplify everyone, right? I mean, if it's childish, just ignore it. If it's childish, if you deem it childish, just ignore it. Why bring attention to it? Some people hadn't even seen the clip yet, and they decided, hey, what is it? Oh, let me go check this out. You know, so if it was childish, hey, ignore it. If it's serious, counter with policy. But instead, they just fake outrage, fuel the spotlight, and lose the message war. Case in point, Hakeem Jeffries on CNN whining about Trump, only for Abby Phillips to roll the very clip of Trump trolling him. You guys got to see this, man. I mean, goodness gracious. He is an easy target. Easy target.
This, I mean, President Trump just moments ago posted pictures from your meeting in the Oval Office where he, I guess, apparently tried to hand you Trump 2028 hats. Then he posted another video, an AI video of you in a sombrero once again. This time he's in the background. You see it, the audience can see it there, as a mariachi band. I mean, I think the question I have for you is, do you think that this is even a White House, a president that cares to negotiate in good faith at all? Because it sounds like this meeting that you had this week has only resulted in trolling and not in any serious conversations.
Hey, the clip is pure political theater. Jeffries, visibly uncomfortable, visibly not happy, is forced to watch the very video that he came to denounce. I mean, a perfect snapshot of the Democrats' dilemma. How do you fight an opponent who thrives on, provocation? Trump's strategy, it's simple: provoke, distract, dominate. And every time Democrats call it beneath them, they'll only reinforce his narrative. But the bigger issue isn't a CNN clip. It's the disconnect between political elites and the American people. In the Oval Office meeting with Trump, Jeffries and Schumer were unsettled when the two Trump 2028 caps appeared on the desk. An unmistakable power play. Trump's antics, they weren't just trolling. They sent a message: no free health care for illegal immigrants. Democrats may call it crude or racist, but Trump knows voters see the issue. For many illegal immigrants, illegal immigration isn't an abstract policy. It's about fairness, cultural identity, and economic security. He taps that sentiment with ease. Meanwhile, Democratic leadership, they look weak. Even CNN's own polling shows voters doubting their strength. And that, more than any stunt, is what keeps Trump in control of the narrative. That's what's keeping him in control of the narrative.
The Democrats, in my mind, are facing more pressure, those Democratic leaders, and that is because their base thinks that their party leaders are weak. Look at this. Democrats on who has strong leaders. Look at this. 54% say neither party, 54% of Democrats say neither party has strong leaders. Among Republicans, 80% of their base thinks Republicans have strong leaders. Yet among Democrats, just 35% of Democrats say their party has strong leaders. When you add together this 54% with this 11%, we're talking about 2/3 of Democrats who say neither party or Republicans have stronger leaders, as compared to just 35% who say their own parties have strong leaders. As I said at the top, weak is how Democrats view their leaders in Washington.
Yeah, so when your base believes your leaders are weak, no amount of press conference fury fixes that. Why? Because voters watch actions, not adjectives. When cities descend into crime and chaos and the response is safe spaces while police budgets get kneecapped, people infer priorities. When the party's response to a budget fight is to pre-spin a shutdown and then turn around and flirt with a shutdown, people infer gamesmanship. I think we all know what time it is when it comes to these Democrats. We understand where their loyalty lies, which is their new voter bloc, which is illegal immigrants. They want mass amnesty for these people. That's what they want. And the people are starting to wake up. You have Black people in Black communities, like out in Chicago, out here in the Baltimore area, out in the DC area, waking up and realizing that, wait, the resources that could come to us has actually been diverted to illegal immigrants. The resources that you said didn't exist. Y'all found a way to support people that shouldn't be here. You have poor white people that, in some cases, they were in some liberal areas that have realized that, hey, they moved these folks into our community. And they told us there was no resources for us, but they found resources for illegal immigrants. The Democrat Party, they believe that they do not need the Black vote anymore. They believe that they don't need the poor white vote anymore, because they've brought over anywhere between 11 130 million people that they hope will get amnesty, and they hope that these people will take care of them. Now, I got to tell you guys, man, 2026 is important, extremely important, extremely important. There are 35 seats up for grabs in the Senate. There's 2 special elections, and there's 33 seats that are open. Unfortunately, out of the 35 seats that are open, none of them are here in Maryland, unfortunately. Van Hollen's going to be in office until 29. Alicia Alciobrook is going to be in office until 2030, unfortunately. So for us out here in Maryland, we don't have a real way to sway things, not from a Senate seat perspective. But there are some of you guys that are living in states that have Senate seats up for grabs right now. And Gavin Newsom talked about this, and he tweeted it out. Hey, the Republicans, they got the House, they got the Senate, and the White House. They can do anything, and that's a lie. Things can get through the House. We got the right majority in the House. Things can get through in the House, but we don't have the proper majority in the Senate. You need 60 votes in the Senate to get anything accomplished. Right now, the Republican Party has 53 Senate seats. So in order to really get anything accomplished, you gotta get 7 Democrats to cross the aisle. That's been a challenge. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now. I'm with term limits on the Senate. I'm with term limits in the House. I am with it 100%. That job wasn't meant to be a career. It was meant to be an opportunity for you to serve your nation in that capacity and then move on with your life. We should be, those days of people, 40, 50 years in the Senate should be gone. They should be gone. But seriously, the midterm election, especially in the Senate, is extremely important, but in the House as well, because there's a plethora of House seats that are open. Now, I know we're in Q4 and we're just right there in the beginning. And as we get closer and closer into 26, and once we get into 26, not only myself, but I assume that there are going to be a lot of people talking about how important the midterms are. We cannot get into the situation of complacency. We see the gamesmanship, right? We see it. We cannot be complacent. We can't. We can't just say, oh, President Trump has the White House, we got the House, and don't go out and vote in the midterms next year. It can't be. It can't be. So my suggestion to you all, one, get an understanding of, what seats are up for grabs. I may do a show on it one day, then we can talk about the 35 seats that are up for grabs. And I may actually end up, doing it on the live stream one of these days. Once we get into 2026, I guess, maybe that's be more a better time to do it. And we need to make sure we have a full understanding of who's who. And we need to get an understanding of who they're up against and who we can get up out of there. What seats legitimately can be flipped. Seriously. Now, I do know the special elections. There's one in Ohio. There's one in Florida for the special elections for the Senate. But there are 33 seats available that are going to be up for grabs. Billy, I'm with you. Go check out in your state. Go look at your sample ballots. You can go and check it out. But on the show, I think that will be something that we will cover in the near future of those seats. And we'll talk about what's going on in the House as well. Just so people are aware. We can't put our heads in the sand. We can't put our heads in the sand. We can't put our heads in the sand. We can't. Yeah, Hirono just won re-election. Yeah, she's going to be in there for a little bit as well. I don't think she's due for another election until probably same as Alsobrook, which would be 2030, I believe. So, yeah, that's a mess, man. That's the thing, man. Once you get that Senate seat, man, you're in there. You're in there. Once you become a senator, man, you know, Alsobrook, she won. She's locked in for 6 years. Locked in. Now, for my folks out in California, not California, but my folks up in New York City, y'all got a real race up there and a real race going on. Man, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's looking like, you know, Mondani may win, you know, up there in New York. That's going to be something else. That's going to be something else. Thank you, Michelle Bird, for joining the ARP family. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. God bless you. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Brett said Hirono's a lost cause. I want to know, how did Hawaii become a blue no matter who state? I want to know how that happened. I did not realize that Hawaii was, you know, a blue no matter who state. I didn't know it. She is awful, man. She's got to be. I mean, if you're ranking senators out there, she's probably up there as one of the worst. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. It is the 1st of October. It is the middle of the week. We're at hump day. Couple more days to the weekend. I know you guys are looking forward to that, but I will say, man, enjoy the day. Seriously, you know, don't take a day for granted. Enjoy the day. All right. But I appreciate you guys pulling up. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel financially this morning. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button on the way out the building. I do appreciate you guys pulling up and supporting the channel this morning. Shout out to all my blues. Thank you guys for keeping things peaceful in the chat for me. And, you know, shout out to all my ARP family members, man. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. Thank you guys very much. And as always, tomorrow, we'll be back at this thing, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate you guys pulling up. You know, stay safe, be blessed, keep God first, stay prayed up. And we'll catch up with you all next time. You guys take care, man. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the